There's a place where corporate leaders around the country and around the world have discovered an ideal location to build their futures.
It's a direct reflection of the workforce that exists here in the greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky region.
Transport is very easy. That makes it very cost-effective.
The Northern Kentucky area is a fabulous place to live.
It's a place where business thrives in the hub of the heartland, where growing companies find gracious, cooperative communities, where opportunity is central to success. I'm Chris Collinsworth, NFL analyst and former Cincinnati Bengals receiver, and I've called this special place home for over 25 years. But Northern Kentucky is more than just home. It's a remarkable story about dedicated people who shared a dream and the drive to make it happen.
We had a big dream for Tri-ED 20 years ago. More opportunity for everyone in Campbell, Kenton, and Boone counties. Our goal was to create an atmosphere of corporate growth, opportunities for general prosperity. When I think about it, that was our mission then, and really, that continues to be our mission today.
That dream was a big one. In fact, some thought it wasn't possible. But in just its first 10 years, Northern Kentucky Tri-ED became a vital economic development agency with a strong record of success. And today it's a shining example of what's possible with regional, state, and local cooperation. In 20 years, through the hard work, dedication, and aggressive team efforts of Tri-ED and our regional and state partners, Northern Kentucky is really looking up.
Northern Kentucky Tri-ED success stems largely from a dedicated board and a very valuable team of our staff members to assist corporate site selectors to make that decision whether this is an area by which those companies can be profitable.
And it's working. In the last decade alone, more than 300 companies have located or expanded here. Dozens of corporate giants now call Northern Kentucky home to their U.S. headquarters. And the word keeps spreading about an innovative and energetic place to succeed and grow. Corporate offices, advanced manufacturing, technology firms, all are drawn to Northern Kentucky by its unique combination of competitive advantages.
We read in the papers over and over again that manufacturing is leaving the United States. And here we are, a foreign company, not going to third world countries or the developing countries, but actually moving manufacturing into the United States.
It's very important to us that we were able to establish a very competitive base. So, you know, our operating costs are key for us to survive a market that is very often cyclical. And the Northern Kentucky area does operate good value for money for us.
Utilities were a big driver for us. We are one of the larger consumers of electricity in Kentucky. And then the state of Kentucky had offered us tax incentives both on income and some other tax incentives from the local governments.
Through corporate and government organizations and allies, area businesses enjoy the luxury of a highly favorable business climate, with far fewer burdens than most regions face.
We found a ready and willing workforce. Found recruitment was fairly easy in this area.
I think the biggest surprise for me personally, coming from Los Angeles, was the work ethic of the employees here, their willingness to learn new things.
We have very strong ties and working relationships with Northern Kentucky University, with Xavier University, and the University of Cincinnati.
With a 17% workforce growth rate since 2000, companies can count on a productive, qualified, and available labor force with area colleges and universities leading the way.
In the early 90s, Fidelity was looking to consolidate its mail services operation in Massachusetts and Texas, and discovered that this would be a prime location given its central geographic location in proximity to our customer and our client base. And the airport, being the economic engine that it is, was a major catalyst in Fidelity's initial decision to set up a regional center operation here in Covington.
We needed to be on the river because our raw material is supplied by barge. We need to be somewhere with a great road network.
Compared to most metropolitan areas, transportation issues are a distant memory in Northern Kentucky. 3 major interstates converge in the region, and the Cincinnati Northern Kentucky International Airport, Delta's second largest hub, offers hundreds of daily departures to cities around the globe. Mix in its vibrant neighborhoods, an extraordinary and eclectic mix of shopping and cultural attractions, top-flight dining, sports, entertainment, and progressive educational opportunities, and you've got the world-class place I call home, offering the best in urban, suburban, and rural living. Northern Kentucky blends affordable elegance and historic charm with an energized cosmopolitan flair that's hard to find. But we're not stopping there. Imagine if Northern Kentucky were home to 50,000 new high-paying jobs. If all children went on to graduate from college. If bike paths lined our scenic rivers and even more restaurants, shops, and galleries enlivened our cities. These are the goals of Vision 2015. Raising the bar for a more competitive economy, unlocking Northern Kentucky's full potential, creating prosperity and turning ifs into wins.
The progress that I think Vision 2015 will bring in the areas of education, governance, our economy, our parks, our livability, an urban renaissance that we're already experiencing in our urban core will become hallmarks of our community, and we will be indeed known around the country and perhaps around the world for our culture of entrepreneurship and innovation. And those are lofty goals, but they're within our reach.
I would add as well that 10 years from now, we're going to be a more international community. We're going to be a more inclusive community, more willing and able to understand and build on strengths that derive from differences. And that's an important quality in those communities that are already competitive for talent, and it will be important for us as well.
Northern Kentucky's success comes from continued teamwork and an overriding self-imposed sense of urgency that keeps everyone's eyes on the prize.
We as a region can offer a client a variety of sites with multiple assets, and the region has fared very well because of that.
The cooperation here, I think, is so good, and people like that. When somebody wants to move in or thinking about moving this way, I think they'd like to see what the cooperation that we have. You know, and we've got a unique position here. We're small enough for a lot of people, but big enough to have all the attributes of a big metropolitan area being right next to Cincinnati. And they also play a key part in our role here.
If Tri-ED were not the regional agency it is, we wouldn't have anything like the success we have. And if you look at the numbers, in the last 10 years, Tri-ED and our region have produced more new jobs than either Louisville or Lexington have managed as a metropolitan area.
In just the last 20 years, Northern Kentucky has become a thriving cultural and economic engine in the Commonwealth of Kentucky and the Midwest, attracting companies from across the U.S. as well as international corporations and foreign investment. With the continued insight and leadership of Tri-ED and our partners, Northern Kentucky will continue to dream big for the next 20 years and beyond.
The whole experience of moving to Northern Kentucky has been very positive for the Fires.
It's been fabulous because the cost of living is low, the quality of life is high.
Tri-ED and the Kentucky Cabinet for Economic Development roll out the red carpet and not the red tape.
It's the ideal place to live, work, and prosper. High productivity with low cost of business. International convenience with easy commutes. Outstanding entertainment with a low cost of living. Urban excitement with neighborhood charm. It's easy to see why Northern Kentucky is Opportunity Central.